I'm so glad to be here tonight and to get to welcome Lori and Judge Cynthia Black to come and share. I'm sorry, is that better? Okay. Usually I'm pretty loud. I'm so glad that we get the opportunity to have you guys come here and share with us kind of the vision and the hope that drug treatment court can bring to people. We are a community that cares about the folks that walk through your doors. And so I'm excited for you guys to come up and just give us some information. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you guys. And I'm going to give you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tony. Hi there. My name is Lori Letterman, and I work with our treatment court here in Webster County. I'm a Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. So how many of you have heard of treatment court or, okay, so we have a lot of people here that know what I'm talking about. A lot of times I forget to explain exactly what it is. And so since a lot of you are familiar with it, I'll just kind of move on. I've been doing this for approximately 8 years. I absolutely love it. I didn't know I would love it, but I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the greatest jobs in the world is to watch people transform their lives and just see what God does with them. It's amazing. Amen. And I've been fortunate my entire life to be able to watch that through both my careers. So thank you very much for having me here and Judge Black here as well. We really appreciate it. We love to go around and talk about treatment court because we're very proud of our people and what we do. Treatment court is an opportunity for recovery after drug-related crimes. It's an alternative to a regular imposed sentence or probation, prison, or jail. We do have a screening process, and we don't accept everybody. We generally discuss the person in great detail before admission. Most participants enter the program and see it as a way to avoid prison or jail, and feel it's more of a sentence or a punishment. I like to think of it as an opportunity to enhance their lives. Treatment court helps individuals return to or begin a law-abiding lifestyle. It increases the public safety and in most circumstances creates more dedicated parents and family members. Treatment court at a minimum will last about 18 months. Our participants are required to call in every day and see if they are required to test that day. They attend individual counseling and group counseling every week. They meet with the probation officer. They have to pay their court fines and fees. They do complete community service. And they attend recovery meetings, such as this, often, I think several times a week as well, and meet with the judge 2 times per month. Our participants are required to live a drug-free lifestyle, retain employment, get a GED if necessary, and become a legal driver and not commit any more laws violations. Our treatment court consists of the judge, the prosecutor, a psychologist, a defense attorney, a probation officer, a court clerk, a drug testing agency, Children's Division, an administrator, law enforcement, and we also have incorporated a new person into our treatment court. She just kind of started coming and like we welcome her, but like a
community behavioral health liaison.
Yes, and she works with Burl and she helps us a lot. She can help with like if they're going through crisis, and she can help, and she takes a lot of the heat off of our therapist and our probation officer. So one thing and I'm not an expert, one thing I've noticed that works with recovery, and I've watched several people go through, and some people not do so hot, and some people do really good. And one thing I've noticed in my experience is they do good if they open up in counseling, if they attend the meetings, if they find a good support system. They live a structured lifestyle, they're busy, being held accountable by others, but most importantly, a strong faith in Jesus Christ. And that's where I've seen like the most powerful. You also see individuals that have used to, and I was thinking today about some things that what I enjoy watching with drug court, like watching with the people in drug court. And I think about try to put myself in their position, because you see we have several we have 19 in our program or 18 in our program right now. But if one falls, one uses, and okay, so this is a group of people that may have used drugs together at one time. But then if they're all getting clean together, and it's neat to see that, but if one starts going south, they all rally against that person and get that person back up. And that would be, I was just like, man, that is pure pressure to the fullest. That's a good one. But anyway, I was just kind of thinking about that today. Anyway, you see, so that, I thought that was pretty interesting. So our Webster County Treatment Court was formed in 2004. This June we'll be celebrating our 41st graduation, and we have five graduates this June. And we typically have like 1 or 2, but this June we're having 5, and it'll be our 80. We've had 81 graduates through our program since 2004. We live in a small town, or a small community. Bad news spreads really fast. Occasionally we'll get to see, you hear on the news about somebody doing something, some kind of crime, but then occasionally people will watch people in the community and see them doing well, and it is so, I don't know the word, but it's exciting to see when somebody from the community comes back and tells our people, or tells somebody in our treatment court that one of our team members that I see what this person's doing, I see them, and see them doing well, and man, it sets a confidence booster for our people, and we see that, and it's just something so simple as that is such a nice thing for somebody, and that's something I don't know, makes me proud just to see it. So we have community members and you guys are always welcome every other Wednesday, but we have community members that come and just support our treatment court participants just to show them that they're there, to show up faithfully. Our team works very hard. We really focus on each individual's strengths. What works for somebody may not work for somebody else. We recently went to a conference, and I was thinking about this too, we went to a conference, and most people when they go to a conference, we have a team building dinner, and we'll talk about, and it's just a bunch of work friends getting together, and you talk about kids, family, whatever. We didn't. We talked, and Judge Black is the one that started it, but we talked about everything we learned, what we learned, we were around, talked about what we learned, and then we talked about our goals for the next year with our drug court, and dinner was over, and that's how we spent, it was just about strengthening our drug court, and I was just thinking, what an honor to be part of something like that. So, lastly, this is my own thoughts. I've been kind of praying and honestly just thinking about some things I learned last week at the conference, and I had to change some things up, but we all dreamed about a bright future. When we were young, we dreamed about being doctors, lawyers, nurses, whatever it may be, writers, whatever. Something that changes lives. But then life got in the way and something happened and our lives got derailed. People's lives get derailed in a different direction. So I strongly believe that working with people in recovery is one of the most rewarding jobs you can possibly do. And you're not saving lives on a doctor's table, but you're saving lives. And I think this is one of the most rewarding, each one of you helping others, coming together to fellowship and eat dinner together is one of the most life-changing, opening your doors, rewarding thing anybody can do. And that's changing lives. And so, anyway, you're literally saving lives. So let's look at one individual person in general, and all the lives, one person getting clean, and all the lives of them struggling with addiction that it affects with the power of addiction. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to lay this out here because one person, you think changing one life, help leading somebody to sobriety, leading somebody to the Lord to get sober, you think it's just that one person's life, but this is who you're helping. And we watch it all the time. The parents are sitting there praying and crying over that child, that person every day, hoping their child makes it one more day. You've got the children in that home that are wondering if they're going to be fed, if they're going to be safe, if they're going to have food on their table, if they're going to have a place to live, if they're going to have a mom and dad at home that night. The grandparents that are trying to retire and live their life out peacefully, but they have to worry about their grandchild, wondering if their grandchild's okay, if they're going to live another day, just not getting that peace that comes at the end of your old age, at the end of age or whatever, end of your life. Not enjoying their last moments. And then you miss out on the role of being a grandparent, which is the best blessing that you will ever have in your life. But you get to miss it. Those grandkids don't get that chance to be spoiled endlessly by their grandparent. Law enforcement. You got law enforcement out there terrified of people that are running around committing crimes, but you're making that world a little bit safer for them and a little bit healthier for them because they're not terrified of that one person. Not spending time tangled up in the justice system that lasts forever and moves so slow. And your pets. Take care of your pets. That's important. Dogs are important. Animals are, pets are important. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. I love my dogs. And plus, not excluding like all your extended family and friends, and the role models. Like, and I know that like the role models, like the people that set a precedent for other people to follow behind. Like the role models that we all have in here today. That you have people watching you, seeing you, and you're going to lead them somewhere. Like they're seeing what you got and they want some of that. So use your experience to reach others and continue to struggle in one of the most important missions I believe that we have that we're called to do is to help lead people to the Lord and lead them to sobriety and help them have that life. And I will tell you this: I went to school, went to college, and I know the tools that are used. That people, here's you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. But I don't know what it's like to be in that pit of addiction. I don't know how to crawl in that hole with you and pull you out. But people that have went through that do, and that you guys have that tool, that gift that a lot of us in the drug court don't have. And so use that gift to change those lives and save them. A professional knows the tools, but they don't know how to do it. So now I'd like to introduce Judge Cynthia Black. She was here when our drug court formed in 2004 and has been at almost most of the roles with drug court. And so I'd like to let her speak a little bit.
Thank you. And I love Lori's passion. She does a great job, and you can just see it in her face with what she says about how she feels about her job and how she feels about people. So we are very blessed to have her. We started drug court 20 years ago. Lori, how many people have graduated from treatment court?
On June 4th, it'll be 81.
So we're going to have 81 on June 4th graduates.
Wow.
So
Praise God.
that's pretty amazing. That's changing a lot of people's lives because every life changed it's exactly what Lori said. It's a domino effect. There's a lot of people in that person's life that has a changed life as well. It's awesome that we can help the number of people that we help, but we only have so many resources, and there are so many people out there. When I am a judge for people who have felonies in front of them, and so Judge Rob Vogel, who is a very good judge, also practices and is part of our court. He used to be the treatment court judge, and so he understands the problems and the needs of these people as well. So in our community, at least our judiciary, they are trying to do everything they can to help these people. One of the things that we're working on is something that Teresa Code is going to be a board member of, is Lane Change Webster County. And Lane Change Webster County is about hope. That is going to provide an opportunity for someone to walk into the door to a place and they can say, I need help right now. Because it's so frustrating that our people can walk in the door and say, I need help now. And usually they're standing in front of me with handcuffs on in their orange jumpsuit, and they say, I need help now. And if I let them out, they no longer need help. So we have to get them when they are in the right mindset. And that agency is going to be able to meet with people today. They're going to put in place a peer support specialist who can talk to them. It's going to be an all-encompassing, it's going to have all kinds of people in place that can help someone get better now. Since when we see people who are desperate, and they don't understand, their life is so chaotic, and I know most of you people understand this already, but when they walk in the door, the world sees these people as I've heard them called drug addicts, criminals. When they walk in front of me, I see something different. I see, first of all, a child of God.
Amen.
I see a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, someone's child. I see someone who has the ability, if they can overcome this horrible disease that they have, they can really help others. They can be an important part of our community. There is so many people who are, and the song is so appropriate, they are chained. They are chained by addiction. And when you're chained by addiction, addiction literally changes the way your brain thinks. It shuts down portions of your brain, so you're not thinking correctly. And it takes a little bit of time to start thinking correctly. So when we start treatment court, the first phase is essentially making sure people literally can get up at a certain time, can make it to an appointment at a certain time, and that is a challenge to many of these people. Just to be somewhere on time is a huge challenge. We are constantly drug testing 2-3 times a week, and we send trackers out to their house that looks to see what they're doing. They'll look in the cabinets, they'll look under the bed, they'll make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you know what? Almost always they are. Almost always there comes a point when these people want it more than we want it for them. When we start, we want it more than they want it. They're there, I'm hoping to stay out of prison. But once their brain starts engaging again, once their brain kicks in, you can see it. You see it in them. They're happy. They're glad. They're proud to be who they are. They start thinking there's someone else. They stop living in the chaos that they've lived in for oftentimes many years. We had John Stroop speak at our meeting last month. He spoke at our meeting, and he talked about most people who use drugs and are in addiction start at 12 or 13 years old.
Right.
So for many, many years, their life has been in chaos. They don't even understand what life not in chaos is like. And when they start seeing what life not in chaos is like, it's amazing. I mean, they get jobs, they're great parents. We have treatment court participants right now that I'm so proud of. And actually, every single treatment court participant that we have that's graduated, I'm super proud of them. And Travis, thank you. I mean, Travis is here tonight. He gives back. If he can go pick up someone and give them a ride, he gives them a ride. It's people like you that make it work. I mean, thank you for all that you do. And all of you here, first of all, thank you for the wonderful meal. I mean, I think my car's gonna drive here every Thursday night about 6:30. So definitely a blessing to be here with you guys. What prayers are so important? Please spread the word about lane change, because that's a deal breaker. For someone to be able to go into a place and say, I need help right now. We have recently worked really hard to make some inroads to help people. Lori and I have big dreams. We want to help, we want to do all kinds of things. We need help employing, second chance recovery, second chance employment, so recovery-friendly employment. We need jobs in our community for people who are recovering. We're talking about very dependable people here. We're talking about, people in treatment court have all kinds of requirements. They have all kinds of people watching over them. They're taking numerous drug tests every week. They're going to counseling. They have all kinds of requirements. They're reliable and good employees. We need recovery-friendly employment. And I don't know why we have such an impediment. Lori and I have been speaking about that. So pray about that, because that's a resource that we need. When someone gets a job, there's a lot of self-worth there. People, and also, idle hands. And so if someone's busy, they're less likely to get in trouble. And actually they're less likely to be bored, they're less likely to go in the wrong direction. So that's really, please pray about that. If you know of recovery-friendly employment, let us know so we can send our people there. If you know people who hire people, please encourage them to give people a second chance. That's one resource. Treatment, obviously, resources in the community. Treatment can be very expensive. And so that's one thing Lane Change is doing, is it's taking away the expense of treatment. So somebody does not have an excuse to not get help. One very beautiful thing about treatment court is families. Seeing families reunited back together, and families, we've had participants buy houses and become, they're coming from the criminal world, and most of these people are relegated to the criminal world only because they're forced to, because that's the only way that they can feed their habit. And a very good psychologist, probably one of the best in Southwest Missouri, said to me one time, you have to understand that their brain takes over, a portion of the brain takes over, and it's telling them, just like we're told, hey, you've got to breathe in, breathe out. They're told, you find a way to get drugs, find a way to get drugs. I need drugs, I got to survive, I have to have drugs. Find a way to get drugs, find a way to get drugs, find a way to get drugs. So once your brain goes into that mode, it's hard to get out of, and so we need a lot of support. So I really believe something like Lane Change is a game changer. And so we have almost 20 people we had 20 people at one time, we have almost 20 people now, where our goal is to continue to increase people in treatment court to help. There are so many people that need help that we can't take them all. And so that's why we need places like this. That's why the doors of this church, a safe place to come and a safe place to be, a safe people to be able to share with, is so important. So I'm very grateful. Travis shared with me that we're going to be doing kind of the same thing in Seymour. We need more of that. We have Kingdom Church, and a lot of different churches are doing the outreach, so I very much appreciate that. But it literally takes all of us to help these people. And if someone is in desperate need like that, I'm grateful that there are people like you that are willing to do that. Does anybody have any questions?
So when you screen, like you said, you deal with a lot of black felons. Is there certain ones that take them out of your screening process if it's too new, if they haven't been through a court system yet? They have to be a resident of the county.
So for treatment, so they have to, first of all, we start, you have to have a crime in front of us, right, in front of our court system. And if we think that a person is appropriate, oftentimes surrounding communities, Douglas County has 30 people, I'm told by their judge, or close to 30 people in their treatment court. So if they live in a different county, oftentimes that county will take them.
Just a matter of the time and the transportation to get there.
Yeah, so if they live there. And so if they live here, then we will take them here. It used to be when treatment courts first started that if you had violent offenses, you couldn't qualify, things like that. But really, all of those things are gone now, right? I mean,
I don't know, some sex offenses we
don't
Yeah,
take, or
well,
like, you know, like some,
with- our participants have to be safe.
yeah.
And so if there's someone that we feel like is going to risk our other participants, we cannot take them. And we don't take them, because we want our participants to be safe. But for the most part, most crimes, and I honestly believe almost all of our crime is in some way related to addiction. So if we can wipe out addiction, then our crime rate will go way down. It really will. Did I answer your question?
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
I just have more questions. I'm
Yeah.
one of those people. So this application process, is it online? You have to get referred in by like an attorney, a different court?
So you have to ask the prosecutor for an application, and the prosecutor has to say, I think you would be a good candidate. So we do call, he's sort of the gatekeeper. The prosecutor is sort of the gatekeeper. But our prosecutor's willing to give anyone a chance to be screened for treatment court. And we're two different screening processes. One is the rant, and Lori understands that way better than I do, but we also have them meet with a psychologist and who also does an evaluation of them to see if they're appropriate for, if they think that they're in a spot that they would be appropriate for treatment court.
Okay, so let's say that like your charges were technically like even almost like on a federal level and maybe, in Greene County, but you're residing in Webster now. Would they need to, does Greene County also have a drug treatment court, or is it just gonna be their circuit court, their federal court?
Yeah, so if someone has charges in Greene County but reside in Webster County, they can apply for treatment court in Webster County. And we have people in Greene County I have people in Greene County that are in their treatment court. And we would be happy to take their people as well. We have people from Wright County in our treatment court. Now federal is completely different because when you're talking the feds have completely different rules and they don't do the same type of treatment programs that we do in the state.
Basically, it's drug test, parole officer,
Yes,
and drug testing.
yes.
And then the call immediately with your federal parole officer.
Right. And so the current judges that are here in Webster County, under the leadership of Judge Replogle, we are working very hard to make sure, and that's Judge Evans, myself, and Judge Replogle, everyone who comes in front of us, if we believe that they have a drug issue, we are holding them accountable. So, for example, we'll require drug testing. First of all, we get them off the street as quickly as possible, because that's really important, so they're not committing other crimes or dying. And so, if their crime is related to drugs, we'll require them to do random drug testing 2 or 3 times every single week. And if they flunk drug tests, which they do, they get incarcerated, and they will sit in jail until they're not flunking drug tests anymore. I mean, until their brain gets a little wiser, until they understand, I'm not gonna be able to use drugs in this community. Go ahead.
These multiple drug tests, now, do they pay for those out of pocket, or is that provided by the courts?
So now, for treatment court, the treatment court pays for them. When somebody is on pretrial release, they have to pay for their own test, which is honestly cheaper than being in jail.
True.
So
It's cheaper than drugs too.
yeah, honestly, good point right there. Yeah,
What are we looking at, like $50 a pop?
I think it's like 30. I mean,
That's not terrible.
yeah.
I think like the pretrial service is like maybe even, I don't know, maybe $50 a month or something. It's a lot cheaper than drugs.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
and bondsmen.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Other questions? Go ahead, sir.
This sounds really wonderful. And We're only familiar with like SATOP and the, excuse me, required drug testing. How is this different than that?
How is it different than SATOP? Okay, well, SATOP is actually what you're required to do, if you have a driving offense, and so it's a treatment, program that sometimes it's 4 hours, sometimes it's a weekend, and sometimes it's a little, more extended. And so, and it typically is classes and things like that, and it's more related to driving while intoxicated charges, is SATOP is. Now, how's it related to what else other than SATOP?
Just this and the drug testing this sounds like it's so much more extensive. Are you part of a group? Do you live in a
Yeah,
group?
so, I mean, treatment court,
Yes.
so treatment court, as, Lori stated, they come to court twice, a month, but almost every day they have something to do. Almost every day they have to call in to see if they're gonna be drug tested. They meet with a doctor, a psychologist, and they have individual therapy, and then they have group therapy. And the team discusses each person in depth twice a month to see, and they also meet with their probation officer, frequently as well. And so the team is literally, we're pouring a lot of resources into this one person, and there's a whole team of people who are saying, what needs to happen in this person's life next? What do we need to do to help this person next? And so, I think that the treatment, that they're given by Dr. Lawson is invaluable, because these people are broken, I mean, many of us are, well, we're all broken, and, but these people have, many of them have dealt with more horrific trauma than you could ever even imagine. A lot of them have dealt with trauma as a child, so there's that treatment portion to help them get through life, get to a point where they don't need to numb their emotions anymore. I think is really one of the most valuable parts of treatment court. Tony?
What is it that we as a community can do to support or come alongside the participants and graduates?
Hey, I'm gonna let Lori answer that, because
All right, what you guys can do,
first, you can come to court you're welcome to come to
and I
court.
think we do sometimes, don't you, come to drug court?
Yeah.
What you can do, one thing we do, like a lot of people are coming in, they get ordered into drug court, and they get released from jail, and they come in, like I've noticed we've had some people come in that we help them with a hygiene bag. Right now, I don't know how to work a scientific calculator, and you have to do that to get your GED or your high set. We need tutors for people. We have a little library, but they don't really utilize that very much. But just like, one thing Webster that stands out about Webster County is we have the community support where people come in and sit in our, watch our drug court from we have, our courtroom is packed on graduations. And a lot of other courts don't have that. They were shocked to see that when they come down and check out our program compared to others. But I just think just the support and resource, I don't know, just like this right here, just to have, like I was talking to Travis about making a list of all the different places in Seymour and here and but just this is perfect and this is awesome. Like a place where they could go. It's not necessarily AA, but this would consider as a life meeting and something for them instead of having to go to the AAs and NAs, which I like this. I like it's faith-based. I like it.
And John Struck, when he spoke, he said people who start using drugs at 13 have a mind of a 13-year-old. They need to see positive role models. You need to learn how to be a dad. You need to learn how to be a husband. You need to learn how to be a good son. You need to learn these skills, and the best way to learn these skills is to do it with other people in a community, in church. So I thought that was pretty powerful. Lori always does she does life skills things. Our people also do community service. They help build beds. But we have, like, you know, how, a bank account, budget classes. So any skills that people have where, that they can lend for those types of things are appreciated.
And we set out brochures, like if people bring, like you bring your brochures, we'll make copies of that and I'll set out, I think it was you guys that, your brochure, we'll set it out. You know, just, we put all kinds of stuff, I put all kinds of stuff out there underneath the candy.
Yeah. And then you guys were talking about employment opportunity, and I don't think this is talked about enough, I don't think a lot of people know. Because I work for the United States Postal Service, I've been within 12 years. We actually hire felons that are convicted and free, as long as you're honest about it on your resume.
Oh.
It's only if you say, oh no, nothing happens, and then, 8 months later, you have a charge that you would actually be fired.
Yeah.
But.
You would never have thought that.
You,
I would never have thought that.
exactly, I mean, because we, we have, obviously we're unionized, we have a ton of veterans, and a lot of them go through homelessness, go through drugs. But of course, if they're ex-military, they get what we call military preference. So, as long as they pass an initial, background check, if you're honest about it, because it's gonna pop up on there.
Yeah.
And they're gonna fingerprint you. One of my supervisors who I had for years till he passed away, he did 10 years for being a heroin dealer. Got his GED while he was incarcerated, and he was teaching classes at MSU and running a post office plant overnight, so
Yeah.
it is possible, so.
Yeah.
There is.
I love that. That's a
and
great
it is,
story.
and then, it is federal, and it's not gonna start from minimum wage. After 12 months, you're gonna start applying for insurance.
Yes.
You can join a union after 30 days.
That's great.
But just food for thought.
Yes.
And they're always looking for help.
Yeah.
Whether
Always
you're
a
a
carrier.
carrier, or whether you're in a plant or processing facility like I am,
Yeah.
they're always looking for help.
They're
There's
always
applications,
looking for
applications online,
Yeah.
USPS.com/.
Good to know. Yes, very good to know, yeah. Sir?
Do they actually come before you, or do they do like video courts? Because I know Greene County does a lot of video courts.
I like to, I'm really loud, Lori, so, yeah. I like to see people in face to face. I struggle with learning anything online. I do.
That's
And so,
why I'm asking.
yeah, so I have to see people in my face, and also, I don't know, sometimes I have to get after them, and I don't think I can make the point on a TV.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
sometimes I need them to see that I'm angry.
That's why I was asking, because I do jail ministry in Greene County.
Yes.
And a lot of the inmates, it's video court because it's cheaper and easier. It's not the same
It's
thing
not.
as standing before them. And
Yeah.
that's the reason I was asking.
It's not. It's really kind of powerful. Honestly, for both, it's powerful for me just as much as it's powerful for them. I mean, they're standing there, and I mean, oftentimes I will just pause and say, "How did you get here? What are you doing here?" Well, I mean, I need them to start thinking, and sometimes I like it when they're in jail, because sometimes that's the first time that their brain gets a rest from the drugs.
It's a wake-up call.
Yes, that's exactly right, and I think that's rock bottom for many people. Unfortunately, it's not rock bottom for all of them, but it is rock bottom for many people, and I think it helps if they see, and I think every one of our judges in our county, in our community, are like this. You have a judge that is going to hold you accountable, and also that cares. Right? I mean,
Right.
somebody that cares, because a lot of these people, like, I had someone call one of my defendants a criminal. Well, I hate that, because they're people,
Right.
And you know what, I mean, honestly, sometimes there are people who I learned from Judge Canuse. I don't know if any one of you have been around here for a long time, but if you were, Judge Canuse would say, there are a few evil people in the world. Most people are not evil. Evil needs to be locked up in a cage. The rest of the people need to be rehabilitated. And you need to figure out what's going to rehabilitate them.
Right.
Because it's not the same thing for everyone.
I'm also a city alderman here in town. How do we get the cities more involved? Because this is the first I've heard of this. And I've been an alderman for 5 years. So how do we get you coming into the cities? Because our court clerk, Laura Hampton, I think is her
Yes,
last name.
yeah,
It needs to be more Christian-based other than letter of the law, which
Yes.
is what government is.
yes. And so, as a judge, we have to be very careful.
Right.
But I have found when people start going to recovery meetings, which we require them to go to recovery meetings too, right? Where do they go to recovery meetings?
Churches.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when they go to a recovery meeting in church, that's when you, honestly, that's when you see something different. That is when you see, God's got hold of them. And I personally believe that's a necessary part of recovery. I mean, you know, I'm nothing without my Lord, and I don't think, I think people have to have Christ. It's a hard world, and you've got to have Christ, so.
Is it a gray area trying to get you involved into the cities? And honestly, it is a gray area because there's legalities there.
Yeah, I'm happy to, anything, and I know Lori,
We just go, if people
Yeah.
ask, we go. And
Okay.
I gave her a minute, like I was like, I don't know right now, because I just quit my other job, and so I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. My husband's like, you love this, do it. And I was like, you're right. And so, and like, and I was just like, we'll go, if you ask, we come.
Okay.
And then Judge Black calls with me now, so it's nice.
and, you know, church is separate from state,
Right.
but I can tell you, I mean, like, when I'm in treatment court, and sometimes when I have defendants in front of me, and they're telling me, you know, how great things are going in their recovery program, and almost always it's Christian based, I'll say, God is good. You know, I mean, like, so to remind them that I'm happy too. I mean, and I recognize what their changes and why their changes are coming. Almost every recovery program is almost, I don't know of any recovery programs that aren't Christian based to me.
Not-based.
I think that's just necessary. It really is.
So to reiterate, so a lot of the secular-based recovery, they're charging money. And faith-based recovery programs don't.
Yes.
Are there any faith-based programs that are excluded? Say, no, this doesn't count towards your 3+ meetings a week.
No.
So these people in the drug court, they can actually come here, get their paper signed as proof that they showed up. We have a designated person for that, but you know, I bring that up mainly for public interest that you know, they have to get a paper signed and be held accountable for that too.
And you know what? We make people on pretrial release come to recovery meetings because those people are typically working hard to stay clean, right? If you're coming to a recovery meeting, it's a good reminder. And recovery people are really good about holding these people accountable too. So that's a nice thing for us as well. So when I check sometimes, so if someone doesn't mind to put a phone number on there or someone that I can call, because sometimes I get sheets and I'm like, did they really? I mean, I'm looking for a phone number I can call. Because, you know, sometimes they'll try to get one past me. But I actually say, I need you to go, I want you going to 3 meetings a week, and guess what? Church counts as one. If you want to go to church on Sunday. And that's kind of my little way of encouraging them. They don't have to go to church, but if it counts, then
Sunday morning worship counts.
that's exactly right.
Good deal.
And I'm just gonna throw this out there. I worked with the prosecutor's office for 20 years. So I was always like, when I came into drug court, there was AA and NA meetings and stuff. And then Judge Thompson started saying, well, any kind of self-help group or church or recovery meeting, which I'm a huge fan of them doing that, because I think of a lot of people pray at the NA and AA meetings on people fresh, young ladies coming out of jail or young people coming out of jail. I think it's like, there's a lot of, and if you were, oh, this sounds terrible, but I'm gonna say it. Like, if you were somebody selling drugs, where is the best place to go? Is to go sell to one of those meetings. And I've had people in drug court tell me, like, there's people in the parking lot there. And I was like, what? And I was like, should we have the cops? And they're like, no. but like, I was just like, so I'm really, like, I always like the recovery meetings at church, that kind of stuff. I'm just not, I know AA and NA is good, and I went to those just to see like what it was like, just to experience, because I hadn't been. But I also see like, it's not comfortable. This is comfortable. This is
Right.
It's like
safe
it
feeling.
can be easier targeted.
Yes.
It's a weaker structure almost in a
Yes,
sense.
and they're ordering
Yes.
to go in there, and then there's older men or whatever preying on these younger girls or whatever. That's disturbing. And then men in the parking lot trying to sell drugs to people trying to make a difference. I think something like this is a lot, but that's my
I
perspective.
guarantee you that's not gonna be happening out there.
No.
I mean, we're not gonna see that out there.
I've got a question about the lane change, whatever you said.
Yes. Lane change of Webster
This
County.
is a new, okay, so if somebody want help, they would just go, who would they go to? Like, to do that?
So right now, there's a lane change in Leclerc County, and we're doing, we're working to mimic that program in Webster County.
So it's not started yet?
No,
Okay,
we have a board,
okay,
we're raising money,
okay.
right? And so we've gotta get enough funds to get it started. We're talking very soon, we're talking this year.
Okay.
We are talking in the next 4 or 5 months, and we think that they will have an office in Marshfield, and someone would be able to leave the courthouse, and I can say, and, or they're struggling, I can say, go talk to them right now. I mean, they literally will have their doors open, and that's gonna take volunteers too.
Is that Kelly Rhodes?
That is, Lauren Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah, and and a group of people who are very interested in making sure it happens.
Good.
Yes, so it's gonna happen, including Teresa.
You're next.
The lane change, Webster County, do you know what services you're trying to get started there to offer people who are needing help?
Yeah, so if someone comes in and they're broken and they need help, and it's Christian based, it is Christian based.
Good.
And so if they come in and they need help, there's going to be available someone who can talk to them, including a peer specialist. They're gonna have a counselor, a Christian-based counselor, Christian-based peer specialist. And I really like this peer specialist thing. Is kind of a new concept to me. I really love the idea of someone who's been there and knows it's a lot of just exactly what Lori described. I can't tell you how to dig yourself. I've dug myself in a lot of holes in this world, but not like that. So I can't tell you how to get out of an addiction hole. But guess who can? A peer support specialist can. And I think it means more to people when they're talking to someone who they know. I mean, they look at me and go, what do you know, Judge Black? I mean, you haven't lived this life. So a peer support specialist and people like you who have done it is just, I mean, it's amazing that you can help other people like that. Any other questions?
I'm gonna ask the question first, and then I'll, so I don't get sidetracked. Is there anything, and if there's not, how can the community get involved? When we were talking about the kids, starting at 12 and 13, in the recovery ministry, in your professional opinion, and I know there's not any one answer, and I know how the school has always tried to push Jesus out,
Yes.
but is there any program where someone could go into the school and help the families, or an after-school program? My family's moving from out of state, so I'm not familiar with Webster County and Wells. But because I would think in the recovery process, having that person, seeing their family, getting support and coming alongside them would not only benefit them in the recovery, but the family, because there's trauma in all parts it's a brokenness.
Can
Go ahead, Tony.
Can I field that?
Yeah,
I want you to meet with Victor and Emmy right over here, who are championing the LifeWise
Right.
Okay.
program.
Are you
And they
familiar
have-
with LifeWise? Are you familiar with LifeWise?
we are not, I am now, but that's the first I've ever heard of it.
Right.
Yes.
Victor
We're
is,
trying to get it started, and it's basically,
Yeah.
start.
Can I say one really
Yeah.
important part of what LifeWise is? It's perfectly legal to do this. You have, during school hours, off school property, once a week, have a Bible class.
Mhm.
The kids are escorted safely, like in Pastor's case, 150 feet from door to door. Another case, you might need a vehicle, and they get to go to a Bible class,
Right.
led by folks like in here, that are gonna love those kids and care for them, and pray for them, and they can learn about Jesus and how to share him and receive him. It's called LifeWise, lifewise.org, and it's in 1,000 schools in the country so far.
He's got the shirt.
And it costs the school, it costs the schools nothing. It costs the parents nothing, because the people that wanna do it sponsor the kids. And I think one of the best things about it is, I was talking about Portland in this case, but it's, in every city, maybe 10–15% of the kids go to church. All the other kids do not go to church, but this is during school hours, so in the morning, if you're a young broken family, but you love your kids, they're going to school safely on the bus. During the school day, they get to come out of the school, have a Bible class, go back to school, go home safely on the bus. It's not an inconvenience, I'm gonna use that word for them, because they don't
Nobody
have
has
to
to
go
go.
early, and they don't have to go late, and if their cars are running or not, the kids still get to go to Bible class.
That's neat.
And it's from kindergarten all the way through to 12th grade.
I was just gonna say, you can go to lifewise.org, they have a lot of videos on there, and you wanna keep some Kleenex by, because you'll see how it changes lives
Yes.
and changes families. Yeah, it is an amazing program.
And you can sign up as a supporter for Webster
Yeah,
County
yeah.
Schools.
Well, we all need more Jesus, nobody, you can't argue with that.
It's
Can I
a-
ask one more question pertaining to the lane change? Are you teaching skills?
So so
Such as
lane,
learning to read, is that gonna be part of this?
well, and so in the lane change in Leclerc County, who we are mimicking, they have those resources, and so this lane change wants to have resources available for people to do all of those things, okay? And so that's really important. We need resources in our community, in our county, we need resources. We need resources to help people learn to read, learn to study, learn how to use the mathematical calculator. Good Lord, I wouldn't wanna teach that. And so, but so many people don't even have their GED. And so, and there's nowhere where they can go to help study for it.
We'd like to help with the reading, kids learning to read.
Teach phonics.
We can teach
Okay.
phonics and
Yeah,
teach kids to
let's-
read well
Yes,
and comprehend,
yeah.
so.
Oh, well, thank you, yeah, that's great, yeah. Any other, you guys have just been such a curious bunch. You're a lot of fun.
Sorry.
No, I love it, I love it.
We love it.
Anything else that we can,
Well, I wanna say I appreciate what you are doing, both of you,
thank you,
Yes, thank you.
thank
and
you.
and really opened my eyes